Bam.
Do you just want the leaderboard? Oh,
Bam. We're live. Bam. Caleb. Bye, Caleb. Hi, Caleb. I know Emily. She lives in trains an hour away. Matt Reynolds just doing it now. No need to post. Just send in a few dollars. You're a good dude. You're a good dude. What happened to Sam Dancer? He is out. There's probably like a Morning Chalk Up article or something about it. Does anyone know what happened to Sam Dancer? But blew his bicep?
I did not see that.
He's toast. Can we look at Sam Dancer's Instagram and I'll do a live read? We are 1 hour away before what is event 2A and 2B that was rained out yesterday. I'm here with Taylor Self and JR Howell, and I am excited to have a chat with you guys, get up to speed, put some pieces together. When was that last post that he made? So he hasn't posted about pulling out yet? Okay. That was a day ago. So basically while we were doing the live show this morning, someone in the comments said Sam Dancer tore his bicep and just ran off the field and that he's out. That's the first you're hearing of that, Taylor?
That's the first I'm hearing of it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's first.
Maybe we'll go to thank you, Steve. Very cool, brother. Maybe we could go over to the CrossFit Games Instagram and see. So here we go from Alexa Roth. Sam Dancer hurt himself on pull-ups this week and did something to his bicep, so he exacerbated it in the competition. Look at this. What's the protocol on this? If you want to use a picture of yourself in your profile, but there's someone else in it. Is that what's the etiquette on that? Social media etiquette on that? I bet you Will knows. Will, can you tell us what the etiquette is on that? Are you allowed to do that?
Sounds like a Will question.
Are you supposed to cut them out completely? What is the etiquette?
Do what?
Look at this girl's profile pics, Alexa Roth. Like, what's the etiquette on like having a friend of yours in the profile pic like that? Did she crop her enough? Did she crop her too much? Is it insulting? What if your friend's better looking than you and makes you look bad? Should you make sure they're definitely not in there? I mean, there's got to be.
In that case, the crop is really good. If the other girl is better looking than her, then the crop is A-okay.
Just shit on her.
If she's not better looking, then definitely should have included more of her. But that's what I would give.
All right.
The half drop is never okay. That's fucked up, Alexis.
Great coverage, boys. Loving the coverage. Best in the biz. Jeremy Slazenik. That name would work on JR too, by the way. JR could be a Slazenik. Number 53 from North Carolina. Jared Slazenik. Whatever the fuck your first name is. I don't even know what your first name is.
James
Slazenik. The only white guy on the team. Been sitting on the bench for 3 years. No. Not only is he white, but he's a starter. Okay.
I did get a lot of that in school.
You did? How many years did you play basketball?
4.
In college?
Right, 4 in college.
What college?
Anderson University.
Did you like basketball?
Oh, yeah, still do. Still my favorite sport.
Yeah, that's awesome. You play a lot?
Not anymore.
Once a week?
I hung them up. Never.
Never.
If I played tomorrow, I would play 3 or 4 days a week starting next week.
Wow. Hey, Taylor, we got to talk about this some other time when you have a better connection. There must be a dark story there. Homie's got some issues around basketball. Something happened.
I just have obsessive personality. I'm an addict at heart.
PMI Services. It was announced during the Masters first event, and Dancer said he would make an announcement on his IG. Thank you, PMI Premium Services. Okay. Is that a typical injury? Do you guys know anyone else with bicep tears? Seems like something arm wrestlers would get. No? Do you remember that year there were a shitload of bicep tears at the CrossFit Games, and it was with a 155-pound hang clean that was on a axle bar. Thank you. And somehow holding that axle bar as they popped did something to the bicep vein in regards to the relationship to the grip. Wad Zombie, I tore mine completely. Oh, that's like when it curls up into your arm.
Yeah, the only person I can think of is Rob McDonald, Bobby Maximus.
Who's that?
Taylor, you know who that is. He was a Jim Jones guy, one of the main trainers, and then he branched off. He's got a bunch of like skier records and Schwinn Airdyne, max
is he
calorie.
yoked as shit? Is he yoked as
Yes,
shit?
yes.
Yeah, because you never see any just regular Joes fucking rip their bicep. And you know what? Maybe it's because like I don't ever
He was a
go hard
UFC
enough.
fighter.
Oh. Bob McDonald. Oh. You know that there's one of the L1 trainers, his last name is McDonald.
J-Mac?
No, he's a UFC fighter. He has red hair. I saw him yesterday in some of the footage. He was the guy the year that Ryan Fisher started getting squirrely. They had him stay with Ryan Fisher the rest of the event. What the fuck is that guy's name?
I know who you're talking about.
Something, not Rory McDonald. That's a real fighter. This guy was a real fighter too, though. Don't get me wrong. He like you go watch his UFC fights. Jody Lynn, you are too generous. Thank you. $99.99. My goodness. You could say that I have a mental disorder, and that is a donation to a home for mentally disabled adults if you want to get tax credit for it. The other one, and I want to dance a little more, no pun intended, carefully around this, is Emily Rolfe. I don't know what is true and what's not true. Yesterday, someone was saying she lost a baby. God, I hope that's not true. God, I hope that's not true.
No, she had blood clots in her arteries in her arm, her left arm. She had blood clots and was losing circulation. And by the end of the event, her arm was numb. And so they took her to the hospital. They removed the blood clots in her arteries, and she's getting function of her arm back. So she almost lost her arm.
He examines my left arm. He examines my left arm and left hand, and it is totally blue and cold to the touch. Although I have some motor function, I have no ulnar or radial pulse. After the ultrasound, I was unfortunately medically withdrawn from the competition, immediately sent to UW Hospital, where I went into an emergency vascular surgery to remove 2 blood clots. Wow, this is weird. You know where my brain goes. Hold on, where's my tinfoil hat?
I mean, she could have easily thrown those clots and had a PE or something. It would have been bad.
What's a PE?
Pulmonary embolus. It goes to your lung.
Yep.
Caleb? Why is a young girl getting blood clots?
That's a wonderful question.
Careful.
I've talked to some providers here.
Can someone click on her?
Entirely.
Can click on her link? I would like to just do an examination. Can you go to her profile? I want to see what country she's from.
Careful.
Is she from the United States? Did she have to travel? Did she have to travel from another country to come here and meet the prerequisites? When's the last time she's been in the United States?
She did Granite Games.
Oh, radiology. Wow. Fittest CA woman. Is that Canadian woman? Can you scroll down a little bit? Oh, she's a toe spacer gal, like Miss Brandon. Oh, no, sorry. Can you scroll the other way? I want to just see. I want to see if she has. Keep going. Man, she's a specimen. Hey, she took 15th, all fucked up like that. Crazy. She's a beast. Keep going. I'll tell you when I see what I need to see. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Let her rip. Let her rip. Keep going. Is that the only post? Has anyone interviewed her? Is she okay? Like she's through it?
And that's awesome assessment by that doctor. I mean, that really could have saved her life down the road.
Which one? The one that spotted at the CrossFit Games, or the one?
Yeah. I mean, noticing that in the assessment and then going ahead and making the call like that. It's pretty legit.
I don't want to take
Rocket
anything
is
away
okay.
from him, but like in that post, she says something was wrong. Like she knew, right?
She said,
Not having a
she said she's
radio
been
or
dealing
on
with
her
it for a
pulse
while.
is a big deal.
Oh, okay. I'm going to
Doc
look
Rocket
at-
is the same guy that reduced Rook Wells's elbow dislocation too. He's a good dude. When I was
he
the
is
head
a
medical,
good dude.
when I worked the head medical team for the Mackin Syndicate, he texted me beforehand and was like, "Hey, if you ever need anything, just let me know." He was like my on-call provider when I worked.
Should I get him on here and ask him how a young lady at her age ends up with a blood clot?
You could try. Pretty unlikely he talks about it though.
I mean, let me see. Want me to text him? Let's see.
Sure.
Sean Rocket. Invite. Copy. Want to come on live now and answer some questions about Miss Rolfe? I've never interviewed her. I don't think I've ever met her. Uh-oh. Start. Oh no. My tinfoil hat's getting thicker. Okay. We knew she pulled out yesterday. We talked about it, right? That she's the first one to get pulled out this year at the games. It's kind of normal. Oh, she's a nurse. Okay, radiology. Okay, or maybe a radiologist. Okay. Awesome. All right. Doing the Lord's work, healing people. I had Adrian Bosman on last night. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I watched it this morning.
Yeah, kind of crazy. There was something that you said that you heard, JR, that we need to keep in mind the entire games. I think it was you, maybe it was Taylor. One of you smarty pants that said it. Oh, I love the shot, Souza. Great shot of the field. Thank you. Yeah, what happened? You lost your gimbal? There is a workout that Adrian believes is the workout that's like, hey, whoever wins this is going to win the games, or this is the one that's most indicative. And it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. It's just fun. You know what I mean? It's like finding Easter eggs. Have we seen that workout yet?
No.
And I'm including the ones that we haven't performed. Like, how about 2A and 2B? Do you think that's the one?
No.
Okay. What about the one that where they carry at the end? You have to carry the Husa fell up the stairs.
I don't think so.
Taylor, going once, going twice. Taylor,
No,
do you think we've seen it yet? You
not.
think it's a
I don't
Husa fell
think
one?
the Capitals that workout.
Say that again, Taylor, one more time.
No, I do not.
Okay. This is great.
This is
great. Okay, I hear you.
We have not seen it yet.
Oh, I hear you, motherfucker. I hear you. RCW for $4.99. Birth control can also create that. That's very interesting. You say that because my sister, many years ago, was on birth control and a smoker, and she had a hole in her heart that she didn't know about, and that smoking with the birth control medication she's on. Anyone who takes birth control you got to get off it. You should not. Women should not be on birth control. Find another way. But anyway, she got a blood clot. It went through a hole in her heart onto the wrong side. I don't know if it's arterial. Is the medulla oblongata? Is that an artery up there? The brainstem?
That's
That's in the brain. Medulla oblongata is in the brain.
Yeah, it's the brain entrance to the brainstem. Anyway, whatever the clot went through a hole in the heart and went, I think, on the arterial side, got fucking pumped to the fucking brain and clogged the blood flow that goes through the medulla oblongata, and she had a massive stroke. She's so lucky she's normal. Normal. I mean, I can't tell she had a stroke. My sister's still weird, not as weird as me, but thank God she lived. Sven Vidar Waj gave us 219 NOK. I will trade those for $3 to anyone. Thank you guys for the awesome coverage from Norway. Thank you for sending awesome athletes. That's where Oslo's in Norway, right?
Yes.
That's the team, right? That's the team that's gonna fucking break Rich's heart. So we haven't seen that workout, but every workout that comes up, we should be playing that game because I think that's a great game to play.
What will Rich's team lose this workout?
No, not that game. Which workout is indicative of who the fittest is? Is what workout is going to show who's going to win the CrossFit Games this year? So when Justin Medeiros wins that workout, we're like, yeah, of course, that's the one. Oh, we don't even have to guess. We can just wait.
Chase and Bill with Tommy and Sean, they did a show last week where they kind of went through and they ran numbers to see what event that was every single year at the games, like what the numbers showed. Like they went in to see which ones, and for a lot of them, you could kind of guess, you could kind of predict it if it was really well-rounded, like if there was a monostructural element, a weightlifting element, and a gymnastics element. But then others, like the year they did that football sled push with the rope climbs,
yeah,
for some reason that year that was the best predictor of the top 10 at the games. So sometimes it's not what you think.
Wow. What were the elements you said? I just heard you say monostructural. What were the elements?
I think a lot of times it's a workout like First Cut from the 2019 games, where it's like a monostructural element, so running, rowing, biking, whatever.
Okay.
With some sort of gymnastics element.
But pull-ups count?
Yeah, usually a higher skill.
Okay. Let's say a bar muscle up.
And then some kind of weightlifting movement.
Okay. Thrusters?
Sure. That year it was squat snatch with legless rope climbs and running.
Okay.
So pretty high skill barbell movement and gymnastics movement.
That year was what? Squat snatch, legless rope climb,
and run. That was 2019.
Okay. So basically that one, and what about the time domain?
The time domains were pretty variable. That workout, I believe, was a 20-minute cap.
The fuck does this mean? Anyone? Caleb, am I having a weird day?
No. You're good. Everything's fine.
All right.
Yeah, so I don't think that workout has come out yet, and I think when it does, you'll be able to tell.
Hey, so you're saying that the one that was at the this one that we're going to see tomorrow at the Capitol, if there were rope climbs in it, that's the one. We're just missing rope climbs.
Not necessarily. I think
run, strong, heavy shit, and we just need a little bit of gymnastics.
Yeah, I think you're probably, it's probably not going to be a couplet. I would say it's either going to be like a triplet or like a quartet, possibly even a chipper, but I don't think it's going to be a couplet. If we had more of the information, we could probably pick it out. If we had all the workouts, we could probably point to it before we even see them perform it. But I don't think it's been released yet. I have a feeling it's probably one of the weekend workouts.
Heidi, can you unmute yourself? Thank you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, Caleb, can you switch Heidi's to at the fake Sevan Podcast so we can blow up her account? Heidi, what do you is this it? They're setting up 2A and 2B?
Look, yeah, they're setting it up now. It looks like, can you hear me okay? It looks like
we hear you perfect. We hear you perfect.
All right. Yeah, it looks like some of the equipment as they're bringing it over is still dripping. I don't know if you can see that, but
no, great observation though. I love it. Okay. And those clouds, it looks like a beautiful day, like a perfect day. What's the temp and any chance it's going to start raining again?
Dripping, not to be confused with soaking, Sevan.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would say 0 chance of rain. It's like probably 82 degrees, super hot and humid.
And you're not in the media pit. That's why you can be streaming right now.
I don't think anyone's supposed to be, but no, I'm not in the media pit.
So you're knowingly breaking the rules. Well said. I tried to throw some cover for you, but fuck it. Let's just throw ourselves.
I haven't confirmed those rules. They were not given to me, so I'm in blissful ignorance right now.
Awesome. How many athletes are going to go at once?
I'm not sure right now. It looks like they're just setting all the platforms out at once. The platforms look dry, but yeah, I don't know yet how many people are going to go at the same time.
Can you tell how many? Just guessing, does it look like the whole field is going by just how many you have out and how they're spacing them? Do you think it's going to be more 40 at a time or 20 at a time or 10 at a time? It looks like it's going to be a lot, like at least 10.
Does it look like there's one platform per lane or 2 platforms per lane?
It's hold on a second. It looks like 20 platforms are going out right now.
So 2 heats. Yeah.
Hey, Heidi, it looks like someone's going to have a shorter run. A shuttle run? How are they going to mitigate that on the other side? You know what I mean? Like those platforms on the left there look like someone's going to have a shorter run by like 10 feet.
Right. I think the start line is going to be over here where the little numbers are. I don't know if you can see that from my thing, but the finish line, I think, and the starting line for the run is going to be at the same location. Like they'll be starting on the same line.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. We'll check back with
Sure.
you in just a minute.
Okay.
Thank you, JR. Yesterday, I asked Adrian about the minimum work requirement on this workout. And he got, Adrian hostile with me. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that as in a negative way at all. Oh, I think 2 heats, Mr. Mertens. And he spoke about like the spirit, right? It was some gangster shit. He spoke about the spirit, like, hey, people know that they're supposed to work hard, right?
Yeah, like if you make it this far, you
give me one
try.
second. What the fuck is going on here? What's this guy? Souza, what's going on here? What do you get? That better be for gifts for me.
That
What
is
are
for you.
those?
I got you some toe spacers. These are the toe spacers from already here, and they thanked you for all the shout outs on the show. And now we have them. I will hand deliver them to you.
I'm gonna wear the shit out of
Use
those.
code Hopper at checkout. Everybody go get it. Use code Hopper at checkout.
I'm gonna
Thank you, guys.
adapt them to keep
Appreciate
my testicles away from my penis. I'm just gonna kind of adapt it. But thank you.
That's good. That's their second product that came out. I got that for you too. You're good.
What? Wait, you got what's the other one? Toe spacers and what else did I get?
And then you got the ball and dick spacers.
Oh, thank you. Good. Thank you. You're a good dude. What do you think about that? Like, he's just like, fuck you. Like, people just we don't do a minimum. Like, get out there and work. We just expect it from you, even if there is no penalty. But I'm thinking to myself, screw that. I need to win the 300G.
Yeah, it's like he just wants you to respect the game.
But then I tried to draw a direct comparison to what we talked about yesterday about, hey, they put a time limit kind of does the same thing. A time limit's just not so that we can move on to the next workout, but to enforce a certain urgency. And doesn't that do that? Isn't that the same thing with doing a minimum work requirement, at least in the way you described it to me for this next workout? Can you pull up the next workout, guys? This is a really neat workout for those of you guys who don't know. It's a shuttle run. And then with the time remaining you have left, you have to do max jerks at some crazy heavy weight, 3 rounds. And each time the run gets a little bit longer. So are you buying what Adrian said there? Do you agree with him? I don't agree with him.
Yeah, I just don't think he likes that mindset for someone to try to look for an out to where they don't have to put out effort and still get rewarded for it.
Holy shit! Why is Hiller wearing his shorts that he used to wear in the 8th grade? Those shorts don't fit him anymore. Those are way too small. Way too small. What do you think about it? You like that? I mean, I like his attitude. I like the fact that he's saying, yeah, it's for the spirit of it. It's people know better. But is that a reason not to do it? I mean, there's $300,000 on the line. We're crowning the fittest.
I mean, there are definitely people that are going to go into the workout knowing that they probably can't perform equally as well on both. So they're going to strategize however they know how to maximize their points. Whether that comes out as looking like they're dogging the run or they're not trying to do very many jerks, they're going to do what they got to do for points.
Right. So you're okay with it?
You're okay. I think it's dumb to just sit there and continue to fail reps just for the sake of feeling like you have to.
But you're okay with a no minimum work requirement, even though we did the math, and a first and a last is equivalent to like somewhere between 2/17 and 2/20.
Yeah, it's only 2 points less than if you got 17 on both, which is still top half.
Are you excited for this? I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun to watch. I'm really interested to see what starts happening after the 8 and the 600, because at that point they're approaching almost a mile of running to see what that last interval is like.
Just got a DM that said Sean Woodland relayed information that Boz said this was what he thought would be the indicator of the podium. The combination of these two split events is what he thinks will be indicator.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
And I guess I can kind of see that now, because you have raw capacity in the form of running and then the ability to lift heavy under fatigue. So if you're looking at how the athletes score on both as the determining factor, like if someone gets 2/3 or if someone wins both of them, which if you don't think Tia's going out to win both of these, you're crazy, because she's absolutely going to try to win both. And
No shit.
I would say there's probably less than 5 people in either field that truly believe they can try to win both.
And we're going to come back to that in 1 second. That's awesome. What a savage. Well, we're going to name the others. This is the guy. If you guys are at the CrossFit Games and you see this guy, yell at him. Be like, Jason, what's up? You want to fight? See what happens to you. This dude's so fucking cool. Another Flow Master, L1 staff, Jason McDonald. I think they might be getting his black belt here. Former UFC fighter. This is 37 weeks ago. Proud and thankful. If you know, you know. It can't be hard for people who don't do martial arts to understand the big deal. Oh, it can be hard. Crazy. Yesterday, 20 plus years of work was recognized. Yeah, this dude's so fucking cool. What a great dude. Another overachiever super stud on the Flow One staff. These are the people out there that are the judges. I'll take a guy who's a fucking black belt in jiu-jitsu who spent 20 years, even if he had no fucking knowledge of CrossFit, to judge. It's enough credentials for me. Who are the others? Who else do you think goes for both?
I think
Laura Horvat.
Yeah, Laura probably thinks she can push it to win both. I would say Guy probably thinks he can win both.
Okay.
I would say Justin probably is really confident about both, because what you have to look at is not just strength. You have to look at strength overhead, which is usually not the same thing and doesn't translate like lower extremity strength. So when you look at someone like the people who perform the best on the complex, because the jerk for a lot of people was the limiting factor in the barbell complex in semifinals. It usually wasn't the clean and it wasn't the front squat.
Right.
So it was jerking under fatigue. And in a way, this is continuing to test that as kind of a theme of the season, right? You had to do a jerk under heavy load fatigue. And then in the last chance qualifier, you had to do the 55 clean and jerks at 225 with the shuttle runs. And this is, again, very similar to that theme of run hard or exhaust your legs, go heavy overhead when you're tired.
What about Tudor Magda?
I'm not sure how fast of a runner he is. You're going to have to be really fast and deliberately fast to win the shuttle.
Okay, I'm gonna go through the list of athletes here very, very quickly in just a minute. I want to check in with I want to check in with Heidi one more time. Heidi, how are you? You're muted.
Good. How are you?
Any new anything new? It looks like they're getting close. It looks like the women are going first. I see Moran's name out there. Anything else to report?
No, not at this time.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you. No problem. Souza, do you got anything else that you're seeing out there? I noticed you're right by the Rogue tent, VIP booth.
Yeah, this is the VIP booth here. Just say what's up to everybody coming through. A lot of people saying hi to you as they walk by.
Cool.
I don't know if you guys see it there. Yeah, tons of them. Lots of sea shows for that. Hey, he's watching it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Dope. Oh, look, that girl had the Danielle Brandon hair. You see that?
Yeah, did you see we ran into Danielle Brandon's group of friends? They all had their DBE shirts on and said hi to as well.
I missed it.
That's it. You're live. Sevan, it's Martin Graham.
What's up, baby? Good to see you.
He said, what's up? Good to see you.
Benjamin Moreau, JR is the best analyst. Okay, thank you. Caleb, can you bring up the leaderboard? And I want to go through these. Mal O'Brien, is she going to go for broke on this, JR?
I don't think Mal knows how to do any workout but attack it. So I think she's going to go for it on the run, and I think she's just going to trust however strong she is. I don't think she's one of the upper end overhead strength females, but I don't think you're going to be able to tell that by how she attacks the run.
Yeah, I think Emma Lawson too. I think she attacks too. I think she might be really strong overhead.
I don't remember exactly what she hit for the barbell complex in the semifinals, but I think that is a pretty fair indicator. The stimulus with a run is a lot different than 3 cleans and 2 front squats, but again, they're still going heavy overhead at a high heart rate.
I want to say that I saw a video of Emma Lawson at 14 years old clean and jerking more than 200 pounds.
Yeah, I think you showed that.
Ariel Lowen.
I expected her to do really good on the run. I'm not sure about the shoulder to overhead part.
What's Haley Adams going to do?
I would say this is the best case scenario for a lift under fatigue for Haley.
Because it's light enough that she's going to handle it.
Just because it's overhead. She's really good overhead. And her jerk, I would say, is probably her best lift of all the lifts.
Danielle Brandon.
Awesome overhead. And very athletic. So the starting and stopping, you have to kind of put her up there.
Will she attack both?
I think so.
Cara Saunders.
Cara probably knows that she can win or come really close to winning the shoulder to overhead. So I would be really interested to see how she approaches the run.
Right. Yeah, it's a savage overhead squat, right? I think Cara Saunders has something insane.
Yeah. She won the overhead squat in 2014. But this is a little bit different, but still there's a lot of overhead stability involved when you're lifting at that high of a heart rate at that load. I think for the women it's 200 pounds.
Yep. Here we go. Give me 1 second, guys. Mr. Rocket.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for checking in.
Sure.
Is Emily Rolfe okay?
Yes. Doing great.
Oh, that's awesome. Like she can talk and whatever was bothering her has been treated.
She just posted a great post on Instagram. So we can talk about it, and I just talked to her, and she said from an educational point of view that she'd be happy to share her story.
Oh, that's awesome. And I'll reach out to her and try to talk to her also. So what happens out there? So can you give us kind of some details? You're standing somewhere. We have about 10 minutes. You're standing somewhere and someone's like, hey, Sean, there's an athlete over here that wants to talk to you. Or how does it unfold? Something like that at the CrossFit Games.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen it. It's, the competition finishes and then people come out after the competition and, we check in with everybody, make sure they're doing all right. We're standing there. People want to come up to us and we seek other people out if they need attention. And so she, came up and showed me her hand, and
so she walks right up to you. She knows you from the years of competing. She knows you're the chief orthopedic surgeon there. What is your title there, Sean?
Orthopedic surgeon for the CrossFit Games.
Okay, and so she walks up and she's like, "Hey, Sean."
Yeah, she's
my hand is blue.
Yeah, it was kind of a blue color, and
then you're like, "Were you running it through Danielle Brandon's hair?" And she's like, "No, that's not why it's blue."
I think is she pink? If it was,
I
pink,
don't know, some color. You don't ruin my story.
Thrilled. I'd be happy if it was pink, right?
Yeah.
So, but so number one, let me just make sure that everybody knows that Emily did say, please talk about this. This is we've cleared it with her, so there's no HIPAA violation or anything like that. I talked to Emily specifically, and she said, from an educational point of view, to tell people, tell them what the situation was, if in case it ever happens to somebody else, to seek medical attention for this. So that's where I'm coming from on this. But yeah, so she had a sort of we call it a dusky hand, like a purplish looking hand. and no pulse. And so
ulnar or radial
I've
pulse?
seen sort of dusty colors from Raynaud's. Raynaud's is the most common. Somebody can get, exercise and their fingers get cold and their fingers turn blue, like a real blue and white or red color. And, but she didn't have a pulse. And so we tried to warm up her hand.
So meaning you checked here for a pulse. Can you see where I'm pointing? You checked here for a pulse?
Let me just see where you are there. Where
on the wrist?
Let me put you on a bigger. So I checked. You check for a radial pulse.
Yeah.
And then you check for an ulnar pulse. Ulnar pulse is over here.
Okay.
Check for a brachial pulse. If everybody feels on the inner side, you can feel a pulse on the inner side of your biceps, and right there you should be able to feel a pulse too.
Okay.
So she, did not have that, and I said, okay, let's just wait and try to warm things up here and see if the sometimes it's called vasospasm, where the artery just kind of clamps down and you don't get as much blood flowing, and it just never came around, and I didn't, feel comfortable with her exam, and we have an ultrasound machine too now. So we have an X-ray machine, and we also have an ultrasound machine. So we did a Doppler.
Is that new to this
ultrasound.
year?
That's new this year, yeah. And so we did a Doppler, and we're able to see that her artery was clotted. So she had a clot in her artery.
And what does that look like?
Go ahead, Caleb. Sorry, go ahead, Caleb.
What does that look like on an ultrasound? Like, what are you seeing? That is it like a darker color? Or?
I'm just turning up the volume. Sorry, guys. So you don't see flow. You want to see flow of, like, if you've ever seen like an ultrasound of your baby, or you sometimes see an artery and you'll see like a pulse and a blood flow like that. And
so it's not a picture. It's actually a live. It's a live shot.
We did, like an ultrasound of your anybody that's had a child.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
And what caused that, Sean? Is that what caused that?
No idea.
Yeah. Do you see it very often in young people?
It's rare in anybody. It's pretty rare in anybody.
Is it more common in boys or girls?
I don't think there's a difference.
And so no one knows what cause. Can they do I'm going to say something really silly here, but the clot, do they take it out and then look at it? Is there a biopsy on it? Is there analysis of the clot?
So from where we were, we sent her to University of Wisconsin, and she went we called ahead. We said she's coming in, be prepared, and so they had vascular surgery available, and so they took out the clot, and that haven't got all the details. I just didn't want to get into all the details. She's recovering and doing well, but I didn't want to press her on details of that. But they took out the clot, and she has blood flowing to her hand again.
Yeah, that's awesome. My sister at a young age was a cigarette smoker and was on birth control, and that caused clotting and eventually caused her a stroke. And thank goodness she survived.
So that could be a risk factor, right?
So it could be something like that. Maybe she was just on birth control. And smoke. I don't think Emily Rolfe smokes, though. I don't think she smokes.
Emily's personal stuff, but
right.
But there are risk factors for clotting, certainly, and smoking is certainly number one.
Right. And what about all this stuff? Is this tinfoil hat stuff, all this stuff we see about soccer players dropping dead on the field and its relationship to the vaccine? Is that from clotting also?
I'm not going there with that. I've heard of clotting with vaccines and with COVID. Yeah, increased clotting. But again, I don't want to get into Emily's personal background.
Okay.
How long is the recovery for that, you think?
Kind of depends on how she, how the swelling, how she reacts to the swelling and the surgery. But yeah, it would be tough to guess. I'd have to see like how big the incision would be. All those factors. It could take months and months before she's feeling good again.
So
do you know how big it was?
Say that again.
Do you know how big it was, the clot?
Again, I would just say it was a clot. I don't want to get into size.
So the educational piece here is, if your hand turns blue,
see somebody.
See a fucking doctor. Hey, did you know, would you have guessed right away? Like, there's a clot. Like when you see that, no pulse on either side, hand turns blue. Like you're like, okay, there's a blood flow problem to this hand.
Yeah, I mean that's again the most, and I've seen Raynaud's, and Raynaud's is the most common thing to cause blue fingers. And Raynaud's is a situation where if your fingers get cold and somebody has this thing called Raynaud's phenomenon or Raynaud's syndrome or Raynaud's disease, that the vasculature clamps down and you stop getting circulation. It's not a clot. It's just that everything just really goes into vasoconstriction, we call it, where the vessels tighten up. And usually warming the fingers is the best thing you could do. So some people wear gloves and with Raynaud's. That was my first impression, and it just did not. Time did not keep going with my impression. I kept seeing that there was something else going on.
So when someone's lips turn blue,
yeah,
like we've all seen, there's the person at the gym who just went too fucking hard.
Blood flow. You're losing blood flow to your lips. Your blood flow. Vessels are vasoconstricting. Yeah.
Cyanotic, right?
Just to be clear, so a clot is you basically have veins and arteries, and a clot is when basically it's like coagulated blood, right? That we would see on the outside. It's just basically a bunch of blood that's sticking together instead of flowing. The viscosity is all fucked up.
Yeah, so you could have it in a vein, which is the most common. That's called a deep venous thrombosis, and a DVT, if you've ever heard of that. And that's the most common. It's really, really, really rare for arterial clot. So, that's the most common thing we see is a DVT, deep venous thrombosis.
Okay. Hey, I really appreciate it. Thank God you're there. You the man. Thanks for coming on. I know you're busy. I hope that you don't have to do any more work this weekend.
Ice bags and Band-Aids. That's all we want to do right now.
Awesome. Oh, and did Ricky really do 5 laps? Just tell us the truth while we hit. No, I know he did. I'm just fucking. I know. Okay. Love you, Sean.
Good talking to you.
Talk to you later.
Good
Bye.
seeing you, Doc.
He knew it was the vaccine.
Just saying. I was going to ask him about Sam.
Oh, shit. Sorry. You got to be sorry. I was going to blame you, but sorry. I'll take the blame. Oh, that's so sweet. People have been sending me a lot of nice text messages.
Susan's picking up a Monster Water. How dare you?
He said at first that he said she had the Sandusky, and I was like, I hope she didn't have the Sandusky. What the Sandusky is? You don't want the Sandusky. Susan, what's going on with your camera? We need Heidi's camera. If I have to look at, I cannot look at Hiller's crotch one more time. Those shorts are way too tight. Heidi, where are you, girl? I need to see your camera. I want to see the field. And you're a moron. She's an X-ray tech. It's the same thing. Hey, Craig,
I'm pretty sure she's an actual nurse, though. I don't think she's a tech.
Oh. Well, to us morons, it's all the same. Sevan, are you and Josh done doing y'all's podcast? I don't think so. Matt keeps trying to schedule one with me. I just keep telling him to go fuck himself. Hey, dude, I'm big time now. 100,000 downloads, live downloads yesterday. Matt Souza. Is that what Hiller looks like? Bryce Smith. All right. Dan, we're going to do a couple more people, and then we're going to go watch live event. Danny Spiegel, how's she going to do? Mr. Howell?
I would say great on the jerk, not so great on the run.
Okay. And then I want to go over to the men. Is Ricky Garrard is 15 points ahead of Justin Medeiros. Is he going to be able to hold his lead? Is he going to attack this?
He's someone who I expect to do really well on the shuttle and the overhead portion. I would say he's somewhere in the top 15.
Yanikoski, really impressive. 4th place right now.
Yeah,
tied for third.
How these go with him.
You're going to be
look in the top. If you look in the top 20. So yesterday, I think I kind of alluded to all 3 of the tests being basically limited by what came down to gymnastics elements. The chest to bars where you saw that workout really take shape. And then the third workout was all skill and gymnastics. And then the last workout, the separator, was the P-bars and the dips. So if you look in the top 20, you only see a couple bigger athletes. When I say bigger, I mean over 200 pounds. Just look through there. You just don't see very many. And there are some outliers. Like you see Saxon in 30th. I think that's just as big of a shock as seeing Tia in 8th based on the test that came out yesterday. But
or
just
Spencer 15 places ahead of him.
But just look in the top 20. There, I really think the leaderboard is going to change a lot today after these 200 points. And remember, this should have been yesterday. So after day
that
one,
dude could fucking be top 5 in this. Go ahead. After the leaderboard today, Jared.
He looked really good running at Granite Games. So it'll be interesting to see. The starting and stopping is a little bit different.
You mean with the shuttle runs, turning around?
Yeah.
How is that different? Really? It's that big of a deal?
Yeah, it's you see people do shuttle runs that really do them effectively. They don't start to break down until they get to their turnaround spot. They don't start shuffling their feet 10 or 15 steps before they get to the pylon. And that ability to just take 1 or 2 or 3 steps and pivot and push off and change direction with speed, you'll really be able to tell. Just watch people out of the turn. You'll be able to see who really knows what they're doing.
Okay. Last question. BKG, could he win this event? Bjorgman, Carl Gudmundsson.
I don't think he'll win either one, but I think he'll be in the mix on both of them. I think he'll be top 15 on both.
Okay. Has the event started? Does anyone know? Will, do you know? Oh, wait, hold on. We have okay, here we go. Let's talk to Heidi one more time, and then we'll check out here. Heidi, what's up, ma'am?
All right, I got to bounce.
Okay, later, JR.
Okay, so they just added like some pads onto the bars, it looks like. And it seems like the athletes should be coming out any second.
Why would you put a pad to the bar, Heidi, if you're going to lower it to your back? You wouldn't do that in the front. You mean like the what's that called? Like the sissy pad up in the, is that where they put the pad?
Is it the length of the bar? Sometimes they do that if it's too hot out.
I think it's I think it's the length of the whole bar.
Okay. Caleb, you think they're doing it to keep the temperature of the bars down so they're not so hot to the hand?
The bars out here, if they sit out too long, it's like scalding your fingers. Like you get some burn. So if it just sits out in the sun for too long, you're going to get toasted fingers.
Okay. It looks like the event is about to start. Thank you, Heidi, for sharing. Guys, this event is, I think, 90 minutes long, which would bring us back to you. Can we mute Heidi? Which would bring us back to you at 90 minutes would be, when is that? 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So by then, this is the one and only event today at the CrossFit Games. Thanks for checking in. By then, hopefully, we will have Taylor on a landline, and we'll get J.R. Howell back. It'll be a party. We'll get some athletes. Sean Rocket, thanks for checking in. You the man.